Good morning, y'all. September 13th, daily devotion. Strength and suffering. 1 Peter 2:11 through 23. Where is it? Dear friends, I urge you as strangers and temporary residents to abstain from fleshly desires that war against you. Conduct yourselves honorably among the Gentiles, so that in a case where they speak against you as those who do what is evil, they will, by observing your good works, glorify God on the day of visitation. Submit to every human authority because of the Lord, whether to the emperor as the supreme authority or to governors as those sent out by him to punish those who do what is evil and to praise those who do what is good. For it is God's will that you silence the ignorance of foolish people by doing good. As God's slaves, live as free people, but don't use your freedom as a way to conceal evil. Honor everyone, love the brotherhood, fear God, honor the emperor. Household slaves, submit with all fear to your masters, not only to the good and gentle, but also to the cruel, for it brings favor if mindful of God's will. Someone endures grief from suffering unjustly, for what credit is there if you sin and are punished, and you endure it? But when you do what is good and suffer, if you endure it, this brings favor with God. For you were called to this because Christ also suffered for you, leaving you an example, so that you should follow in his steps. He did not commit sin, and no deceit was found in his mouth. When he was reviled, he did not revile in return. When he was suffering, he did not threaten, but entrusted himself to the one who judges justly. The devotion says, when 18-year-old Sammy received Jesus as Savior, his family rejected him because their tradition was of a different faith. But the Christian community welcomed him, offering encouragement and finances for his education. Later, when a magazine published his testimony, his persecution intensified. But Sammy did not stop seeing his family. He visited whenever possible and talked with his father, although his siblings cruelly prevented him from participating in family affairs. When his father fell ill, Sammy attended to him, praying he would get well. When God healed him, the family began to warm up towards Sammy. Over time, his loving witness softened their attitude, and some became willing to hear about Jesus. When we undergo discomfort or suffering because of faith, we do so because Christ suffered for us, leaving us an example that we should follow in his steps. Jesus is our example in suffering. We can turn to him for strength to continue. For it is God's will that you silence the ignorance of foolish people by doing good. It tells you right there in the Word. A lot of people think it's supposed to get easier when you do this, and then wonder why. Seems like it gets worse. It tells you right there. Sometimes you're going to have to suffer because Christ did it for you. Y'all have a blessed day.